Have you ever felt like your marriage is stuck? Like the love you once had is just fading? You're praying, showing up, and doing your best, but something is still off.
Thank you for joining us for Why Your Marriage Isn't Growing, the Christian Couple's Guide to Rekindling Love, Faith, and Connection.
The podcast for Christian couples who want to reconnect, grow in faith, and fall in love again with God at the center of it all. In today's episode, we're going to uncover 3 myths that are secretly holding your marriage back from growing spiritually, emotionally, and relationally. Carolyn, would you share the 3 benefits of listening today?
Absolutely. Today, you'll learn 3 common myths many Christian couples believe that keep their relationship stagnant. You'll gain practical steps to shift your mindset and rekindle connection. Also, you'll be inspired to invite God back into the middle of your love story. Greg, you want to give us myth number 1?
Most certainly. Myth number 1 just stood out to me. It says, as long as we both love God, our marriage will be fine. Well, I never even took that in consideration. I just wanted Carolyn. I didn't even think about any of that, even though I did love God. And that sounds good on the surface, but it assures that loving God alone guarantees a healthy marriage without effort.
Many Christian couples assume faith alone is enough, and we know it wasn't. Ignoring communication, emotional connection, and practical love.
You can communicate with somebody, but what type of communication is it? You and I right now, we're communicating with each other, but is it effective? I want to share this with you. My wife, we thought this, but we hit a wall earlier in our marriage because we didn't have effective communication. We started attending church, we was praying, but not truly seeing each other. We had to learn that spiritual love must be matched with intentional action and emotional presence. I mean, we had to show up.
Intentional action wasn't there.
You're right. Myth number 2. If we're fighting, it means something is wrong with our faith. Oh my goodness. Conflict is seen as a spiritual failure instead of a natural part of growth. Are you kidding me? That's a big myth right there.
This causes shame and silence. And silence is what gets you in trouble. Couples avoid important conversations thinking they're unfaithful to God.
See, now that's a real big myth and misunderstanding, thinking that if you don't communicate or you're avoiding the conversation that you're being unfaithful to God. No, this should be drawing you closer to God. And the reason I say that is because Carolyn and I learned that conflict, when handled with grace, actually strengthens trust, because the Bible says iron sharpens iron. God isn't surprised by our disagreements. He says, I knew you before you were formed in your mama's womb.
Yeah. But just think about when we used to have our disagreements.
Oh my goodness.
I would shut down.
Yes.
I didn't want to talk.
Yes.
Thinking that was going to get it resolved.
That was a pivotal point in our life when we look back on how marriage was, because we didn't have God as the center of our life. And we were married for a lot of years. I mean, we started this journey in 1985, and then we got married in 1988, and then just a short clip, Carolyn divorced me in 1993. We just wanted to share a few of our personal thoughts with you and let you know that you can learn and handle this.
Because you'll get strengthened. When you face the challenges, you have opportunity for growth.
Because the Bible tells us again, how can 2 walk together unless they agree? Yeah.
So you want to touch on myth number 3?
Okay. We don't need outside help. We just need to pray more. That right there is too funny. A belief that seeking help through counseling, mentorship, or community is a lack of faith. That is the biggest myth on the planet. Had we just sought out some type of godly counseling in the beginning, we probably wouldn't have ended up in some of this divorce. Yeah, we wouldn't have ended up in divorce, for one. Carolyn and I, what we do is we love to be transparent.
Okay. So to that myth, prayer is powerful, but God also works through people. Think about that. God works through people. Isolation keeps couples stuck.
And that is the truest thing. And I promise you that there's probably some people listening to us right now that are stuck. And we want to help you get unstuck because we know what that looks like to be stuck. We were that stuck couple. That's the reason why we sharing these myths with you, because we don't want people to keep feeding you all of this misinformation, because that's what Satan does. In John 10:10, it says the thief comes to steal, kill, and destroy. But God said, I come that you may have life and have it more abundantly. So don't let nobody steal your joy. Seek outside godly counsel. Let's be clear, because if you're seeking out ungodly counsel or unhealthy counseling, you are just adding to what you have in your current situation.
And here's the thing I'd like to add to that. Married people will go get counseling from single people.
Now, we should have actually threw that in there as myth number 4, but we thought of that just now. You know what? Counseling from a single person. You married. You going to your sister or you going to your cousin and you're listening to them and they're not even married, or taking ungodly counseling from a person who got a toxic marriage. Carla, I really would love for you to recap and share some insight on these 3 main points that we've been talking about. Myth number 1 was, as long as we both love God, our marriage will be fine.
Loving God isn't a substitute for working on your marriage.
And myth number 2 was, if we're fighting, it means something is wrong with our faith.
Conflict doesn't mean your faith is broken. It's an opportunity to grow.
It's an opportunity to grow. Myth number 3 says we don't need outside help. We just need to pray more.
Seeking help isn't weak. Seeking help is wise.
That's deep right there, because basically marriage is a sacred journey, sometimes messy, always worth it. If you want to reconnect with your spouse, start by reconnecting with the truth. And remember, God's not done writing your love story. Remember why you chose that person. Is she the Proverbs 31 person? And if you don't know what Proverbs 31 is, go and read Proverbs 31. Believers, especially men and women, should go over there and read that and study that, and you'll see what we're talking about.
Okay, so we thank you for joining us today. We are so honored to be a part of your journey. If this encouraged you, we ask you to share it with another couple who needs to hear it. We appreciate your time, and we thank you for listening.
Because here's the deal, and this is the reason why we had so much to share with you, but we didn't want to give you a few bite-sized pieces, because here's what I know about life. If you give a person too much, they won't understand how to digest it. New episodes will be dropping every Monday and every Thursday. So be sure to subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. Follow us. Share this out with your friends, your family, especially people you know who may be struggling. And join us next time as we dive deeper into rekindling love, faith, and connection through God's way. To God be the glory.